Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and I'm back for the UEFA Champions League Match Day 11 live team selections. This is my team selection for the semi-finals, first legs. We've come this far. Champions League Fantasy is nearly over, and there is only 2 matches remaining, starting with Real Madrid versus Man City at the Bernabeu, followed by AC Milan versus Inter at the San Siro. Both legs will be at the San Siro. They obviously share the ground, but it's AC Milan's home leg first. So I'll have obviously the bigger AC Milan support in that game. There is no away goals though. The away goal rule does not count as double like it has in previous years. Obviously that was taken away last season, so that continues. As for the Champions League game, you get 5 transfers prior to deadline. And it is really tough to pick. It's really tough to pick when it comes onto this stage. There might be a lot of moves you've got to make. You'll see in my team, I've had to use all of my transfers. I even had to kind of burn one of the transfers because I just needed to save some budget. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show everyone my team ready for these semi-finals. And I think you can have a bit of fun with it. With captaincy picks and transfers and things like that. As long as you've got a couple of the core and key players, you'll be fine at this stage of the tournament. So strikers for me, it's this front two. It's unchanged. I had Benzema and Haaland in the previous rounds, so they are my strike two. Rafael Leao was also someone on my mind, but he has got an injury. He might not necessarily start the first leg. You do get transfers in between the first and the second legs. So for me, it had to be these two. You'll see with my third striker who it is when I reveal that. But there's a couple of other players that I did consider, which I haven't gone with for my strikers. But that's my current front two for the first set of games between Madrid and City on the first night. Then we'll go into my midfield. Kevin De Bruyne was already there from the previous round. So was Vinicius Jr., who is my captain. The captain's armband is on him. And you'll see here, look at these points in the last few match days. 6 points in match day 10, 13 points in match day 9, 6 points in match day 7. 6 points in match day 8 and 17 points in match day 7. He's been phenomenal this season. 46% selected, must have in your teams. And for me, he is my captain. You could go Haaland, you could go Benzema, you could even go De Bruyne, but it's Vinicius for me because he's just so consistent. I want to try someone a bit different. I think Haaland's going to be the one that's almost, the perma cap for this semi-final first leg. But I want to go Vinicius. I'm going to trust him. His midfielder points, potential ball recovery points as well that you do get from midfielders, and clean sheet points that you get from midfielders. So Vinicius is my captain. And then I've got Valverde. He was one of my transfers in. So he come in there. I had Kvaratskhelia from Napoli who come out of my team. And then João Mario left my team. And Rodrigo from Real Madrid, so good in the last legs against Chelsea, comes in. There's rumours Madrid might change their formation and Rodrigo might not get the minutes, but I just think for his explosiveness and his goal threat, he has to be in our sides. So I'm a little bit light on Man City in that midfield. I'm light on Inter Milan and I'm light on AC Milan. I've gone pretty heavy on Madrid. I'm probably backing them a bit too much. You might want to mix it up a bit and go with someone like Barella from Inter Milan. Maybe pick someone from that AC Milan midfield. But for me, I've put a few more of the Galactico superstars in there. But let's go to the back four, which is a little bit more diverse there with Hernandez and Tomori from AC Milan. Bastoni was already in there. Ruben Diaz was already in there. But Tomori comes in at 5 million. I just thought I needed to get some coverage from this AC Inter game, especially if it ends up 0-0 or if Milan can end up nicking the game by a goal to nil. And Theo Hernandez is someone who's very, very popular this season in that defence. So I had to get him in. Tomori as well was only 5 million. So he had to come in there. Again, I had Napoli defenders, Di Lorenzo, Kim Jai, those types of players in defence that I needed to dispose of. Diaz and Bastoni were already there. So they start the game. Let's go to my keeper. I already had Courtois. So he stays in goal. Not expecting a clean sheet. But he is the keeper. And then we'll go to my bench. Vlachodimos, obviously, doesn't play. I did have a Nana in a previous round and swapped him for Vlachodimos, which has ended up being a rookie error at this stage of the comp, but something I couldn't do. Obviously, I do have João Mario. I said I transferred him out. It was Messiah from Bayern Munich that I took out. Messiah I took out from Bayern Munich, not João Mario. Romani as well. Previous transfer. You only get 5 transfers. I had to use them where I could. And I'll just quickly I'll talk about my last transfer in a second. But as you can see, Theo Hernandez, Tomori, Valverde, Rodrigo, and then João Correa there was my 5th sub. So I had to burn a sub transfer. So I had to take Victor Osimhen out. I had to put Correa in, who may not necessarily get any minutes. But look, for the fact that he was just so cheap and he played 10 points off the bench, you got 2 points here in Matchday 9 as well with 27 minutes played. He's someone that if someone in my lineup comes out with a 0 point or a 1 point, then Correa can come in for them. Just burned. I needed to reduce that money so then I could afford the likes of Hernandez, Rodrigo and Valverde. So he's someone that might come off the bench and get 20, 30 minutes, maybe nick a goal, maybe nick an assist, which is why I've got him there. He's not in there with the mind of, I really want to start on my team. He's just last resort, comes off the bench to start. So there we go. There's the full squad. As you can see here on screen, I don't have much room for error. I've got a lot of players in the first night. I've obviously got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players from night 1 and only 3 players from night 2. 4 if you include Correa. But again, he really is just an emergency substitute. So that is my side. I'm okay with it. Like, I'd probably be a bit happier if I didn't have so many Napoli players I had to transfer out, Benfica players as well, Bayern Munich players too. So I did get a little bit trapped. You can also consider the likes of Giroud, absolutely loves a big game. I can afford him. Barrea, very, very good option. You also get 3 transfers between the first and the second leg. So once these first legs are done, you can then look at potentially bringing in players. If any of the first legs look like they're done, a team takes a superior lead, 3 or 4 goals, you can then start to bring in those players ready for the final. But if it's all up in the balance, there probably isn't going to be much we can do. But there's my full team. Let me know what you think about my side in the comments. And there it is. That's my final. Well, it's not my final. I'll be doing it for the final as well, but it's my second last team selection video that I will likely do before the final. Yeah, I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Standard old school 4-4-2 there with only 1 player on the bench, which is just an emergency with Correa. There's just not much else I could really do on my side. Hoping I can have a strong end and a strong finish to this season's UEFA Champions League Fantasy with that team. But I'll leave it there. If you've got any comments, please get them in. Like this video as well. It's really good for the algorithm. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm FPLMattDay, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.